this is Ananya, and in today's lecture we will be studying about first class functions. So today we'll be hitting two targets with a single arrow. The arrow being first class functions and the targets being firstly decorators. First class functions are your first step towards understanding decorators better. And the second target being object-oriented programming concepts in Python. So let's get started. The first statement that I want to make is first class functions are basically functions that can make, or rather say allow, other functions to become first class citizens. Now, what are first class citizens in programming? Let's take the concept of first class citizens in societal norms. Let's say you are a person living in a certain country. You are born and brought up in the same country and you are a native of the place. So you have access to all the properties and all the fundamental rights that the country provides you with. So let us say your country is a class and you are an object that has access to everything of the country. So you are the first class citizen and your country is the first class function. Now let's come to programming terms. Let's say you have a number 6. And the number 6 belongs to the class integer. So the number 6, being an object of the class int, has privilege to everything or every property that class int provides. 6, first class citizen, class int, first class function. Now let's go back to the first statement that I made. First class functions can make other functions first class citizens. So let's take a function A which has a certain piece of code inside it. And let us assign function A to function B, or rather say a variable B. Now what happens is when you do that, function B, or rather say variable B, becomes a function and it has access to every single thing that function A does. So function B becomes function equal to function A. And hence, function B is the first class citizen of function A. I hope I could clear your concept. Now let's get started at actually implementing these things practically. Okay, so firstly, we're going to check how function as an object works. As I just mentioned, object or whatever object we create will hold all the properties and attributes of the function that we are assigning it to. Now this is your first step towards object-oriented programming, because that time we'll totally be dealing with objects and classes. So the more you understand now, the better you'll get at object-oriented programming. Now let's see what's happening. Y'all can see this function that I have defined that takes any text and returns the text itself. And the name is animals. Now what I'm doing is, inside the print function, I call the animals function and I pass the text dog, I am an animal. Now this is all pretty basic, we know all this, right? But now comes the most important part. You'll see this line here. So what happens is, I am taking a variable pets, and to pets I am assigning the function animals, okay? Please make note, I am assigning it. And if you all can see, I do not have parentheses given here, okay? Because if I would have given parentheses, it would simply store the text inside pets. Just for a quick go through, let me show you all what happens if I give a parameter and parentheses to it, okay? Let me give the same thing. And now if I run it, okay, let me print it. Okay. See, it gives you the string itself. Okay, it's not getting assigned or anything. So what we need to do is remove all of this and just assign the function animals. Now, since pets, the variable pets becomes a function itself, now if you call pets and give a parameter to it, it becomes equal to calling the function animals again. So if you say pets and call the function pets, it will basically go up to animals and return the text. Let's run this and check it out. Okay, you can see what's happening. The first time you print the normal main function, that is animals, and the second time after assigning it to pets, you can call pets as a function too. Now, what if we were to delete animals? Okay, I'm going to delete the function animals, and then I'm going to do the same thing, that I'm going to call pets via the function with a parameter. So I say delete animals, and I'm going to repeat the same statement again. Let's see if it works. Okay, you see, even though animals gets deleted, you have already stored it inside pets, and hence no matter if you delete it or not, pets will do the work of animals function. I hope you all got this concept. Now let's move ahead to using functions as parameters. Let me comment this out. Okay, now functions as parameters is again a pretty simple concept. Let's go through it. Okay, now if you see, I have three functions defined: animals, pets, and bark. And what I am doing is, I am using the base function as bark. Let's come down here. So what I say is, inside bark, I am passing the function name animals. Now what happens is, inside animals, okay, I have some return statements. So what I do is, animals goes to function. Whenever you call bark, function is assigned the function animal. Okay. Now, since the variable func has now become a function in itself, you can call it using parentheses, and then I am storing it inside the variable greeting. So what happens is, as soon as you call func, it goes to animals and it returns dog, I am an animal. So now the variable greeting stores the string dog, I am an animal. And then what you're doing is you're simply printing it. Okay. Now, if I do the same thing, but I'm taking a different function this time. So I'm taking bark, and inside it, I call the function pets. Not call it, I just pass the parameter as pets function. It goes and assigns itself to the variable func. Now func itself becomes a function. Whenever you call it, it'll go to pets, store it inside meeting, and print it. Now I'm just going to give the same previous statement that I used here, that dog, I can be a great pet too, because of course dogs are great pets. Okay. Now let's try this out. Okay, just a moment. Okay, there you go. You have dog, I'm an animal. Dog, I can be a great pet too. And that's it. I hope you all understood functions as parameters. So we've done two concepts, that is functions as an object and functions as parameters. Now comes an interesting part. Now, if you are a person who previously has dealt a lot with C programming, that is the C language, this is going to be totally new to you, and it's going to whack your brain out, because in the C language, we totally ban this concept. And on the other hand, in Python, it's actually a pretty interesting method to carry out. Now, let's see what it is. If you can see, I have a function animals, and inside it, I am defining another function. Okay, that's new, right? Defining a function inside another function. Well, in the C language, this is a total no-no. That is not allowed. But in Python, it works great. So let's see what's happening. So this is function returning functions, all right? So again, in a variable dog, I am assigning it the function animals, and I also pass in a parameter. Okay, so that gets stored into info, and then the interpreter just sees that yes, there is another function defined. It checks all of that and skips it. Now let us see the main part. You have return pets. Okay, now what return pets will do, since you're saying pets without parameters, the function pets goes and stores itself inside dog. Because why? Because you're calling animals through dog, and you're saying from animals return pets, and hence the function pets gets stored inside dog. Now basically dog is equal to pets and dog is a function. Now, so if you call dog using parenthesis, it goes inside the pets function. Basically this statement will call this function and you have dog, I'm an animal printed. And after that, if you can see, I am also printing info. Okay, that is what I had previously stored into it. I can be a pet too. So you see, it does not forget the value of info. Now this we'll be seeing in detail in the closures part that is coming up right after this. So I hope you all understood how this return pets is working. Just a quick, okay, let us see the output and then we'll have a quick run through. Okay, so as you can see, you have the final statement printed together. Dog, I'm an animal. I can be a great pet too. So just a quick run through. When I say parameter dog is assigned to animals, the string gets stored into info. It just sees that yes, there is another function defined inside this. So it returns pets. Now the pet function gets assigned to dog. So now dog becomes the function, another function, which is equal to the function pets. And when you call dog, it comes to this point and it prints dog, I'm an animal, along with info. All right, that is all about functions as a first class functions. And I hope you all understood the entire concept of it. I'll be meeting you all next time with the concept of closures. All right, bye-bye. I'll see you all soon.